Welcome back, everyone, for video game news. Enjoy the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 music in the background. Okay, first up, let's get to some of the stuff. First, we have four games that are actually recently announced are going to be going in, apparently, the Gaming Hall of Fame. Some of them older, some of them not so old. The four that were chosen that will be going to the Gaming Hall of Fame: Bejeweled, Centipede, King's Quest, and last, Minecraft. Interesting group. It is kind of weird, Bejeweled, but whatever. Next up, we have announcement for the Metacritic scores for the new Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, The Isle of Armor. Currently on Metacritic, among critics it has a 71%, and among users it has a 6.4%, or just 6.4 out of 10. Next, the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition has a 89% among critics, and among users it has a 9.2 out of 10. So very good in both categories. And the last of Metacritic seems to be somewhat controversial. On the critic side of things, The Last of Us 2 has a 95% among critics. Among users, it has a 3.6. And that is out of almost some 78,000 or something like that people rated it on Metacritic. So, pretty good amount of people. Next up, we have a supposed possible leak in prices for the PlayStation 5, specifically the digital edition. It was leaked, though. This retailer then ended up removing it because they are taking, I guess, pre-orders apparently already. This leak was actually on the side of Target, of major retailers, surprisingly. Now, the leaked price that was showing for the digital edition, which is obviously going to be cheaper because it's cheaper to manufacture for, so it doesn't need a lot of the components that the regular disk drive version will need. According to this, the leaked price was saying $399.99, so let's say $400. So my guess, if that ends up the actual price for the digital, then I would say physical, you're probably looking at about $499 to $549 range would be my guess. At least probably $100 more expensive. Sort of like how the Xbox One S digital is cheaper than the regular S model. That would be my guess. Now it is showing the digital model is going to have apparently a 2 terabyte hard drive. Makes sense because it's all digital. But that's just the only reasonable, I would say, leak price that was released that seems the most credible, especially since it was Target more specifically. Next, we have in some news limited run games. A couple of things I recently signed up for the newsletter because I've been getting more into checking out limited run stuff as of late myself. Now, there's a couple of deals and things going on right now. Limited Run Games has a game called Blaster Master. Now, they're offering like three different Blaster Master games, and it's available on all three platforms, or not all three, but two platforms: PS4 and Nintendo Switch. The prices range on the game. Starts at like $29.99 for each game if you want the standard. If you want the deluxe, which includes I believe the game soundtrack and some other extra add-ons, it runs $54.99, and then you have a special combo bundle they're offering, which will give you all three games together in one bundle for $129.99. Now, this is last chance. It's only going to be available one more week on the Limited Run Games official website. So, if you're curious about it, check it out before it's sold out and not available anymore. because scalpers, once they get a hold of them, prices will skyrocket. Next is an interesting game that's also on its last, like I believe today or something is like the last day of its offering. Called Wizard of Legend. It's gonna be $29.99. The that's the base. Then you have also a $34.99 on PS4, $59.99, and also then there's a special ultimate version. But anyways, now on to the last. This is the one I personally got. Outer Worlds is only on PS4. It's not being released on any other offering on that limited runs, interestingly enough. But with that said, you have it. It's going to be $34.99, $59.99 for the version that will include like a CD, soundtrack, and some artwork and stuff. Then you have a $74.99 version, which is going to include the soundtrack but a vinyl copy, which is interesting to say the least. Next, we have also recently officially released at Walmart and Amazon and other retailers physical copies of Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD has been released. So it's not going to be strictly a limited run like the Vita and other platforms were. So that's interesting. I guess it must have had high enough in demand. So, now after that, we have some new upcoming releases. Sword and Sandals, Spartacus. It's going to be $12.99. All these are games coming out on Nintendo eShop. It is going to run $9.99 normally. It's on sale right now. Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong game. It's $12.99. Coming out June 22nd. Next, Pokemon Cafe Mix. Coming out June the 23rd, but no price yet. Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary. Coming out the 23rd of the month. And it's normally going to be $9.99. It's on sale right now for $4.99. Next, you have an interesting game called Night Call coming out the 24th. It's going to be $19.99. It's an all black and white game, so it's definitely a little unique. Next, you have The Almost Gone coming out the 25th. It's going to be $14.99. You have an interesting jet fighter type game, more World War II time period, called Iron Wings, coming out the 25th. It's normally $14.99. It's going to be $11.99 right now. Next, you have also Tower of Time coming out the 25th. It's going to be $24.99. Normally, it's on sale right now if you pre-order for $19.99. Then you have Blair Witch coming out the 25th. It is going to be $29.99 normally, $26.99 right now if you pre-order. Then you have Old School Musical, which looks interesting. It's $12.99. It's coming out the 25th. You have a bigger release, The Legend of Heroes, Trials of Steel 3, coming out the 30th. It's going to be $59.99 standard, then deluxe for $69.99. Burnout Paradise Remastered, just recently released on the Switch for $49.99. You also have Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, $7.99. Airy, which is a game I recommend I picked up for $6.99. It's a really cool game. The Coma 2 Vicious Sisters, and it is normally $14.99. It's on sale right now for $13.49, and a deluxe version for $24.99. Now to the last bit of gaming news. We have Dead by Daylight just released a new DLC thing that's coming out. They're even offering a bundle with the standard game and everything. This is a special new like DLC pack coming. It's pretty big though. Silent Hill DLC coming to Dead by Daylight. So it looks interesting. We saw a trailer for Star Wars Squadrons from EA. I have no interest given, well, the newer Battlefronts and everything from EA. And given it's going to be, I believe, like $40 at launch, it says 60, which says right from the start you're going to have tons of microtransactions and stuff. This is Electronic Arts we are talking about here. Next, save the biggest story for last. AT&T, which of course recently purchased about a year ago Time Warner, has announced they're looking at selling off their gaming division. Specifically, right now, they're looking at selling their interactive studio, which would include NetherRealm Studios. So that means if a company buys, they will get the rights to Mortal Kombat, they will get the rights to the Injustice games, and they will also get the rights to the Arkham games. So that's kind of a pretty big deal. The asking price they're looking about selling it for $4 billion. And right now there are 3 companies looking at being interested in purchasing. And what worries me is 2 of these 3 companies. The first of the 3 companies that is interested in purchasing it is Activision Blizzard, which worries me. Second is Electronic Arts, which worries me even more than Activision Blizzard. The last one is the one I think is by far the least evil out of the 3. Take-Two Games is also interested in purchasing it. Not sure how it would do if they would end up selling it off. I hope, honestly, AT&T higher-ups decide not to sell off the stuff. If we think the DLC stuff was bad enough with MK11, imagine what DLC stuff would be under Activision Blizzard or Electronic Arts. It'll be a complete and utter nightmare. But with that said, that is this edition of Video Game News. Hopefully you found some of this information interesting. And I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. And please, everyone out there, stay safe. And just stay aware at all times because, well, 2020's been a crazy and insane year to say the least. But anyways, I'll see you again soon enough.